the American Spanish War in, I think it was
Texas and California. Yeah, Texas and California used to be Mexican.
Yeah, that's what I was watching earlier today when I was taking some free time for myself. That one and the Spanish War in Cuba. Finally, the Coco.
Yeah, I'm back from the cave.
Oh, yes. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah. Well, at least you guys only have to do it once.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Fortunately, right?
Yeah, fortunately. Yeah, no, it gets tiring after you do the test after test after test after test, especially when you have like 6 or 7 students in the class. I have to divide it in 2 days. I can't do it all in one.
Yeah.
It's too much.
So I should be the last one, right?
You are the last one. I already did Gappy, Jack, and Bacon. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
All right. So how are you today? What did you do today? You're on holidays?
No, it's summertime right now. So I have a feast with my friend in the afternoon.
Have a what with your friend?
I have a feast.
Oh, feast. A feast. Oh.
Yeah.
Was it good? Did you barbecue a big pig or something? What did you do? What did you eat?
No, like, yeah, maybe some weird stuff.
Some weird stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so alien brought you some food.
Yeah, for another dimension. Its taste is unique.
Aha, that would definitely be unique.
Yeah.
So how did you do on all your entry tests?
My entry test? Yeah, I did fairly well. Yeah.
Yeah?
36? I have the...
37?
Yeah.
What'd you get? 36, 37, 38?
Like 30, 36 or something. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not, yeah.
How did you do in English?
High, but English is like 9.25 in 10.
92.5, huh?
Yeah.
So
9.25.
Where will you be going to high school?
Maybe it's a school in Vendome. Yeah, it's a high school in Vendome, the only one.
You're gonna just
I have an attempt to have the high school in Halong, but I failed.
Oh, really? So you won't be able to qualify for that one?
Yeah, it's not even a normal high school in Halong. It's like a very high education school. Like it's all very a lot of nerds. Yeah,
hard to get into that one.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. It was like that's like the schools, like they say, Harvard gives the best education and have the best students and all this stuff. But really, it's kind of misleading. It's not really true, because it's their entry tests and their requirements to get into the school. The kids that go to that school are already in the 1%. And that's why there's the school, the students are so highly recommended from those schools. It's because of the selection process. But the textbooks and everything are pretty much the same in all the universities and high schools and everything else. I mean, the education is still as good at any school. It's up to you to learn it.
Yeah. It must be like the professor there, the coaches, the teacher there is better. Yeah, maybe.
Man, I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not highly qualified teachers, but what I'm saying is the selection process that gives them such a great reputation is usually because they only take the top 4 or 5% of the highest level students. And that makes the school look so much better because the education is very similar throughout all the high schools and all the universities. You're going to study marine biology in this university, or you're going to study it at Harvard. It's the same textbooks. It's up to the students, so you'll still get a great education. It's up to you. It's not so much the school. Yeah, that's my point. Okay, just so you stay totally motivated to get.
It would be the case if if you compare the high school in Vendome with the normal one in Halong. but that very high one is I guess the textbook with there will be different. Yeah.
Oh, really? You think they have different math books and different science books? And
even they have the same, they would use that very little. Like it's very, the education would get very high there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready to start your test?
Definitely.
All right. Let's get at her. Pitter patter.
If I'm not ready now, it would be never.
This is our last chance.
Yeah. Our last day.
Part 1, social interaction. Topic 1, teachers. Are parents the best teachers?
Parents the best teacher?
Are they the best teachers?
That's already a pretty hard question. Sure, the parents teach us a lot of things, like the behavior to everyone, and they can give us some experience about life, but they still need to take their children to school. So no, I guess
not necessarily.
I guess not necessarily the best teachers of one's life.
And the reason is because there's so many things to be taught.
Yeah, there's so many things. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good. Yeah, they teach different things. That's a good point. So what makes a great teacher, in your opinion?
A great teacher not necessarily need to have a good like mindset. Oh no, not mindset. A good
attitude.
A good memory or something. A lot of information in their head. But what makes the best teacher is they have a way to communicate to communicate to the students well, to give the experience, the things that they know well to the students, and make the students understand them. Make the student understand them and agree to their point, their opinion, and that's what makes them that's what makes the best teacher. Not some professor or like the doctor or scientist or something. They are just they know a lot of stuff, of course, but they definitely they definitely not give it to other people's give those knowledge.
I've met a couple of teachers like that where they are incredibly knowledgeable and they have every answer, but they are just the most boring people to listen to. Yeah. So in the delivery, how the teacher presents the material makes it interesting or not. That's true. I agree.
That's 100%. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's how this class was named, right? Interest.
Yeah, purposely to make it interesting. Let's talk about interesting things. Try to make it interesting. It's kept us alive. So, do you believe in the statement, there is no such thing as a bad student, only a bad teacher?
That's even more of a hard question.
Yeah, but do you think it's true?
I don't know.
Or it depends.
I guess it's less likely to be true as the people progress into the future. Right now, students don't necessarily need to have the knowledge to be taught by the teacher. They can have they can read the books, or even they like the internet. They have they are everything on the internet. And like you say, the important thing right now is not about you memorize the way or something that, but the way you find a way, no matter how you find that, is the important thing.
Yeah.
So I guess that statement can be true, especially in the past, but right now, not really. Like in the past, there's a lot less way for students to learn new things. So it would be more likely to be true. But right now, it's the table have been turned.
Right. So, but that's answering the question. That's making the statement that it's easier for students to educate themselves because there's more resources.
So because of that, the role of a teacher is less significant right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my point.
All right. I think the statement though, what it means is that, and I think in theory it's true, because even if you have a kid who comes to school now in grade 9 that doesn't like school, always disrupts the class, always distracts students. Very difficult. I've had students like that, and I have not been able to communicate or work with them, and it didn't work out. Is it my fault?
Not really.
But I get, like you said too, time. Because I think what the statement is saying is that not just the problem of a 13-year-old kid today who has bad study habits and hates school. It is the teacher's fault, because the teaching starts with the parents. It starts when you're a kid. So 99% of the problems with that 13 or 14-year-old kid now that wants to quit school started years ago, or it happened in elementary school, where things started going really bad and no one was there to support or help that kid. And from that point, things went sideways.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point where now there's not much you can do anymore. Yeah. But I think that's what they mean. But it's, if from an early age, then it would be the teacher's responsibility. I think that's what that's saying is supposed to be.
It can be different. Yeah. It can be different from every person perspective.
Yes. Topic 2.
Yeah. Let's move on. We don't need that. We don't have much time. Yeah.
Topic 2 is going to be social media. Number 1, do you think social media hurts or damages communication amongst friends and family in today's world? Do you think there's a negative side to that? Does it hurt communication amongst friends and family?
Yeah, I think the more I read about it, I think it's more likely to be true. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people still use those social media a lot and still communicate well with their parents. But in general, that is damaging to the teenagers right now, the social medias and website or something. Yeah. Because I guess, so firstly, when you have such an easy way to communicate to others, so those social medias, like you have said, you would not prefer to communicate face to face with your parents or your friends anymore, and therefore they will, and therefore, teenagers today would not have a lot of time to practice their speaking, their communication face to face with other people.
Yeah, it's not just words. It's also the body language and the facial expressions and how you feel face to face with someone, the social skills.
Yeah, everything is get worse. Yeah.
Number 4. Yeah. Is social media addictive?
Social media addictive? Yeah, it's very addictive. Like, it's so easy to get information But if people go to social medias to get information, they should be not addicted to social medias. Like you and me.
Information is research. But how can it be addictive? How can it be addictive?
It can be addictive because the information, the entertainment on the internet is also very easy to get access. So people would tend to get all day, to spend all of their time just swiping some TikTok content or something. Getting through
dopamine. Keeps you.
It's very addictive.
You spend way too much time on it. Okay, so what advice would you give a friend addicted to social media? So if one of your friends, you notice why he's having a hard time dealing with social events, he has a hard time in a group of people, he doesn't hang out anymore with his friends outside, he only spends his time on social media, and you can only talk to him if you text him. What would you say to a friend like that? What advice would you give him? Him or her?
If there's any advice that would change already addictive person, that's very hard. Like if I would make an advice, I would just refuse or just deny and condemn every problem that you have said before of that friend. Like don't be shy, don't be excommunicate. Is that the right word?
Excommunicate. It is a word, but I'm trying to think of. I don't think it works in here. No, that's it. It is a word. Excommunicate. What the heck is that?
Like try to be more communicative.
Yeah.
And using less social medias. Like it's hard to give an advice to.
Well, it's to suggest something for him to do. Now, just telling him to go out and talk to people more. He doesn't want to. He doesn't like it. So he's got to change the habits at home. So what could he do to start breaking that habit? He's spending 12 hours a day in front of his social medias. So logically, what would be the first thing he could start to do to help improve the problem?
Having a schedule of things he need to do. Like he will divide his time of a day to do everything. Like 1 hour for eating, like 4 hours. In the first day, it would be like 8 hours for social medias, and the next day would be 7, and the next day would be 6. And it will gradually going down when the time that he would spend on social medias will get to the point that it would be manageable, like 2 hours or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have suggested something like, delete a lot of the social medias you have and just keep one for communicating or something like that.
It's hard. It's hard to have an instant change like that. Every change should be gradually.
Okay. All right. Let's move along.
like if you ask a person to that addict to cocaine to throw every cocaine that he have in one day, would he agree? Absolutely no. It will be gradually. It must be gradually. Like it should. It just should be gradually. Every change.
It's been a problem beating addiction, whether it's social media, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's cigarettes. But I guess cigarettes, you could consider that a drug because it has so many drugs in it. Just not that it doesn't make you crazy, but it still makes you addicted.
Yeah, damage to your health. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The best analogy theory on beating addiction that I've heard over all the years, and it's always a problem. Every year it's a problem for millions of people, is that
they're depressed, right?
Depression. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Doing drugs and alcohol and all this stuff is fun. It releases dopamines and it makes you feel wonderful when you're doing it. But the problem is that it destroys your life and it destroys your health.
Yeah.
It doesn't last.
And the reason why people find that joy and that happiness is because their life is depressing.
They don't want it. Well, like I said, the best analogy that I have heard about this is that we do it because we want to avoid responsibility in our problems. And that's why we escape, and we use these tools to escape what we don't want to deal with.
The reality.
That's usually the reason how we get addicted to something. And social media is exactly the same thing. We don't want to deal with this and that, so we escape and we do this. But the solution, and this is the best one I've ever heard, and I hate to keep repeating his name all the time, but it was Jordan Peterson, the psychologist, who said it. So I have to give credit where credit is due. He said, and he said this with another fella, but I can't remember his name, who quit drinking and doing drugs, that it's about finding a purpose. Something in your life has to become more important.
Yes.
Once you have a mission or a goal or something that is very meaningful, if that is more powerful than the addiction, then you can quit. Otherwise, you'll keep going back to the addiction because you haven't solved the problems. You have to find something more meaningful. And that makes a lot of sense to me. And when you compare it to the people who have quit addictions, almost always it's a story of they had a new career, or they had a child, or a new love, or they had a new goal in life, a new ambition, and they couldn't do the ambition or do it well if they continued the bad habits. And that was what made the deciding factor. That's what makes sense to me the most of all the things I've heard. And these are these rehab centers that people go and stay there for a few weeks or months and gradually get off, and then they're free for a month or two. But then most of them end up doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think purpose, I think that is the solution to most addictions. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not a clinical psychologist by any means. But anyway, let's go to part 2.
Yeah.
All right, part 2, solution discussion. I'm going to give you a situation. Your best friend's romantic other is being dishonest, and you know the truth. What would you do in this situation? Explain your choice. 3 choices are suggested. Number 1, you would tell your friend what has been happening behind his or her back. Or you would choose the "it's none of my business" and say nothing. Or you would confront the dishonest person in question and warn them of their actions. If you don't smarten up, I'm going to tell Tommy. Kind of thing like that. All right. Any questions, mister?
Probably not.
All right.
I guess I know the answer.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you a minute anyway to make sure you write it down, because you've got to remember, you have to give 2 reasons why you chose what you chose. And then you got to give 1 reason or disadvantage why you would not do the 2 options not chosen.
Yeah, there would be some reasons that just oppose of the other. Like,
yeah, why wouldn't you do that instead? That's what you got to answer. Okay, starting now. 1 minute. All right, 1 minute is up, mister. What is your choice? What would you do?
My choice is I would talk to him directly about his problem.
Okay. Why would you do that?
Yeah, because because one, this is a problem about loving, and you shouldn't threaten my best friend romantic others about being dishonest or something, because if you
number one, you would tell your friend what his girlfriend's doing. Okay. All right, keep going. So
because then I would give two reasons, right, for the thing that I
why
choose.
would you tell your friend and not the others? Why would you tell your friend?
Yeah, because he's my best friend, not the romantic, not his or her romantic ones, right?
Right. Okay. So reason number one, because he's my best friend. I got to be honest with him. Okay.
Yeah.
And the second reason?
And number two, it's better to it's just better than every other option, because this you should not threaten, or you definitely not told him nothing, or nor told his romantic one, because that's a bad thing. That's already a bad option. And the another option that is threaten his or her romantic ones. That option is not good at all. It's also not good, because like if his or her romantic ones already being dishonest with if him or her, him or her already don't have love don't have any love, or don't have love anymore with my best friend. Right. So if there's another kind of problem, it would be another solution. But about love, the best way is just
Coco.
What?
You're right. You're reading me a book. Come on, you only got a couple of minutes here. Just get to the point. Get to the point. Why not the other two? Let's wrap it up.
I already talked about say nothing to both. Yeah, that's very bad. And the last option is threaten the romantic ones, because if him or her not being dishonest with my best friend, him or her already not having love, or not having love anymore with my best friend. So why keep it? Why threatening her? Love should be optional. Should be up to the person.
So you wouldn't talk to her because it would just be useless. Who are you to tell her anything?
No, if even I am a significant of my best friend romantic ones, I will not doing that, because that is also very useless, because this is about love. Love is it's up to the person. The feeling is it shouldn't be forced. If I threaten her, that is force her to love my best friend, and that's not good at all in love. Yeah, and that's my point.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess what I was trying to get at there was, if you let her know that then maybe sometimes people just make stupid decisions and they're not thinking clearly, especially the younger you are often. I mean, when adults do it too. But I guess the way I was looking at that question was, again, perspective, is to give her the option to change her ways. Like, you really want to mess this up? You really want to screw this up? You think it's cool? Because she might be doing it because her friends think it's cool, things like that. And sometimes people just don't think clearly. And then when they sit down and they really think about it, it's like, wow, I am being so stupid. I have such a great guy in my life, and I'm going to screw this up if I fool around like this. I got to smarten up. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. And then
if I just talk directly to my best friend, his and her should have a talk, right? Or if my best friend smart enough.
And that's tough. Okay. That's tough because it gets emotional, and then we don't usually think very clear when we get emotional.
There's a lot of perspective getting here. Yeah,
that is correct. Part 3, topic development. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I thought you had some questions.
Some question. Oh, yeah. I don't know where that you start. When you start. Yeah. Okay. So we should
just ask me now. Yeah.
The things that I knew today that I will know 5 years later.
Do you understand the situation? It's kind of like today you have, a genie, an alien came by and said, you know what? You can go back and talk to yourself 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity to go back and change some things in your life. You can go back and talk to yourself before to change things so you'd have a better life today in some way.
Yeah.
What would that be? You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
All
now,
right.
So the thing that I would this question for when I'm older, it would be getting more complicated, of course.
Absolutely.
But right now, the only thing that I care is just like studying, about scholarship and knowledges.
Well, if you asked me that question, I mean, the first question I would ask is, which decade can I go back to? Because there's so many. But that's what I mean. But I mean, I've got, you're 13 years old. For example, if you told me go back 5 years from now, wow, there's not that much I would have changed. I think I'm on the right track now. But but that's because I've got 30 some years of adulthood. It's a lot different. Now, ask me if I could change things 30 years ago. Wow. Now, give me a book. But if you ask me at 13 years old, there's probably only a couple of things I can think of, right? Because I'm just starting to be an adult. So that's why it's a little harder for you to narrow it down. So you just got to try to think of a few little things you would have changed. All right. Any more questions before we start?
I guess it's already been easy for me for this question. Like, it's not really complicated.
Okay.
I have not.
So you're ready?
Yeah.
You're ready.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay. Ready. All right. Part 3, topic development. Discuss the topic, if only I knew.
Yeah.
If you knew what you know today 5 years ago, or maybe 4 years ago, depending, what changes would you have made in your life? As guided in the outline below, the little mind map here, you can use examples such as education, social, health, or your own ideas. And I will give you 1 minute to prepare your answers or your topic development.
I guess I already know the question. It's already easy for me.
Okay, good. So 1 minute
my
starts.
life haven't been so complicated yet.
1 minute starts now. Time is up. So, again, if you knew what you knew today, 5 years ago, what changes would you have made in your life?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Like, the first thing is, of course, like education. I would go back 5 years ago and tell myself to be more hardworking on studying, on academic, learning more on air resources like books or internet, whatever.
So you mean you would study more subjects, or you would improve study habits? Or like a little bit of both?
I would study. Yeah, and I also told to tell the younger of me, like 5 years ago, to go in a direct way, in a direct subject. Like I would choose math or English or something, and I just focus on those subjects, for example.
Okay, more effort on certain subjects. Okay.
For more determination or something. Yeah, like you have said, it's better than it's people have said that it's better than that you do one thing 100% than you do two things 50% each. Yeah.
When it comes to your specialty, yeah, we all have to be really strong at one thing for sure. You're really lucky if you're really good at two or three things, but you triple down on what you do for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I believe that. Okay. Anything else you would change?
And the second thing is about my health. Yeah, my health and my physical condition.
So you wouldn't break your leg?
Yeah, definitely.
By the way, when you're 13, don't kick the lamp.
Kick the fan.
Break the other leg instead. Okay, sorry.
So
you would
that's a thing. And the another thing is I would just doing more exercise regularly to have better health. My health now is not it's not bad, but it's also not amazing. So
you're not in great shape. Yeah. COVID's played a big part of that too.
Yeah.
A lot of people
could be. And the third thing, maybe I guess I would told myself to have more friends. I guess I'm just like more friends is more friend. The more friends, the better, right? So yeah.
Sometimes,
yeah.
More socially involved, maybe in the community or something, like to be part of different groups and learn.
Or just things. Improve the relation better with the friends that I already have.
Efforts on spending more time with friends. Yeah.
With some friends.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need 150 friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to it?
Maybe I'm good with my decision now. Like my life hasn't been complicated yet, so it's still be pretty basic and pretty simple.
You're just starting high school. Like I said, it'd be different if you asked me about 30 years ago, what would you change? And boy, oh boy, would I have a list.
At my age, it would do little. At your age, it would definitely do nothing.
Yeah.
But when you like 22 or something, when you still young, but not young anymore, it would be detrimental.
Can be. Yeah.
Or game changing, life changing.
Yeah, the older you are, the more interesting that question becomes, for sure. But
no, it's not. It's not really like at your age you are pretty old, but that definitely do nothing. Like you of 5 years ago is not very different from now, right?
No, that's what I was saying earlier. Like if you tell me if I could go back 5 years knowing what I know now, yeah, sure, I would probably make a few business decisions differently. But not much has changed in the last 5 years. But ask me 30 years, and that's now I have a long list of things that I would change.
Yeah,
that's a lot different. Yeah. Well, the fact that the reason I put this question in here for you guys too is that if you realize it now that you would have changed it 5 years ago, you're only 13. You can take your answers and start applying them to you today. So in 5 years from now, you can already start improving what you already know to be true.
Okay.
That was
in the future. I'm not already know what I would do in the future. So
don't worry about that. Worry about the present. Worry about what you can do today. So what do you think? Do you think it's different? Do you feel any different being a teenager now? What is different? The question is, I guess I should read the question. Do you feel any different now that you are a teenager?
What? This should be for an adult, right? I'm not an adult.
No, these are just, you are a teenager. You're 13.
Yeah.
So now you are a teenager. Do you feel any different now that you are a teenager compared to a couple of years ago? What's new? What's different about being a teenager? Is it good, bad, the same?
I guess the first thing I acknowledge is like like it's obvious, like I'm bigger, I'm
Yes.
stronger, and can do more things. The second thing is my mindset is also different, although it's not complete yet, but it's
No, it's
definitely
still
different
developing.
it's yeah.
But you
And
can see a change, yeah. You can see
and the
physical
third
changes.
thing, oh, this the third thing, I guess, is the change. Oh yeah, the third thing is the more I grow up, it's not just about being a teenager compared to being a toddler or something, but the more I grow up, I feel like the faster the time will pass in my feeling. Like when I just take a quick relook, a quick refresh about quick memorize about my memory in about the times in my secondary school. I just acknowledge the moments in when I just
Stop flicking your pen.
I just acknowledge the moments when I just in grade 6 or 7 or something.
Right.
But like the grade 8 and 9 just comes so fast. And even the grade 6 and grade 7 comes faster than when I was in primary school. So yeah, I feel
it's common knowledge that common saying that as you get older, time seems to fly past. Of course, it's not true, but everybody says that as they get older, the time seems to fly much faster.
Do you feel like that?
I do often. Often I feel like, wow, it's almost the end of the year. What did I do this year? But as at your age, I'm like, wow, when am I going to be 16? I want to drive a car. Time
like when I'm at grade 2 or grade 3, a year just take forever.
Exactly. Yeah. But as you get older, it feels, and it's because we don't have as much time, and it's our time is eaten up by our jobs and our responsibilities. And that's why it seems like we're losing time, because we're selling so much of our time to do things we don't really want to be doing. And that's why it feels that way, I'm sure. But anyway, what do you think will be the best thing about going to high school?
The best thing?
What do you think will be the best thing?
Best thing, just one thing, right?
Yep. What do you think the best thing will be about going to high school?
It's like, I guess it would be like I would be learning new things, learning more advanced things, not necessarily about those academic things and education, but also about life experience. So I would have a better time in the future when I go to university and learn even more new things. Yeah, I think so.
The new phase in life. Yeah, that's always a good thing. A new stage, a new phase, a new place, new experience helps develop you. Yeah. Okay.
And get the time to go by slower.
To what? To go by what?
To go by slower.
Oh, I think that starts more when you start working for a living. All right. Third question. Now that you have finished junior high, or you guys call it middle school, you're 6, 7, 8, 9.
Secondary. Yeah.
Finished your junior high. What do you think could be changed or improved for younger students? So for the kids coming up behind you, if you could suggest something to the school or the teachers, something they could do to make it better for the next kids coming.
Definitely. It would definitely be the excitement in learning.
That's what everybody says. Yeah.
Teachers shouldn't making peace with those his or her students, knowing as much as possible. It would not be efficient. His or her should make their lesson more interesting so their students would have a better time understanding and memorizing those knowledge that those teacher need to teach them.
Yeah. No, it's the same kind of answer that everybody gives, and I totally see it. As you know, I'm an advocate,
interest,
campaigner for reformed education.
Yeah.
I think one thing that just came up to me when I was talking to, I think it was Jack. I think one of the problems and why it's so dull and boring in a lot of state schools is that the lesson plans for each year, they kind of just pass them on to the next teacher, and then they rewrite them and put their name on it. Oh, here's my lesson plan for the year. And then the next year, they just take the same lesson plan, put their name on it. And, it just keeps going and going and going. And I think it's just as boring for the teachers, most of them, especially the older ones, than it is for the younger ones. I think what they should do is give the teachers what the topics and lessons are and have them make their own lesson plans with the idea of we have to try to be more interactive and create games or something or challenges to try to liven up the class a little bit. I think that would be a good start. But that's my focus for blogs. When after we get going in the advanced studies, I'm going to start writing and I'm going to start posting a blog. Yeah. And my blog is going to be basically based on my research on education around the world and argue and try to solve the problems of how to reform education and how to introduce family studies and parenting and economics and humanities and all of these things, that politics, things that people should be learning. And now with my experience as a teacher for so long, even structure how to make lesson plans for classes. So that's going to be my project, because I really think it does. I really think it's time that the governments sit down here and they start reevaluating.
The biggest problem that the lesson that passed down is boring. That is the biggest lesson. If that lesson that passed down from generation to generation of teacher and it is interesting, that wouldn't be a problem if it is interesting, that lesson already.
Yeah. But they have to be improved, and they're not improving it. They just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over. And it's getting to the point, like even in the language centers, I complained about this a lot.
The important thing that they do the bad thing over and over. If they're doing the good thing over and over, is a good thing, of course.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. It's good, Coco.
Yeah.
Keep your studies, keep your interest going. You're a very wise kid. Everybody says it, and it's clear, So keep studying, keep being inquisitive, keep asking questions, keep reading.
Inquisitive?
Yeah, well, that's what they call it. It's like curiosity, right? Always wanting to learn about different things in history and all kinds of stuff.
Is there anything doing for that word with the word inquisitive or inquisitor?
I don't think inquisitor is a word. To be inquisitive, I think it's only a verb. Or it could be an adjective, an inquisitive person. Yeah, curious. Yeah.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
The Inquisition.
It should be derived from that word, Inquisition.
That's what I was listening to earlier today. I was doing a little listening on YouTube about the history of the Mexican-American War in 1844 and the American-Spanish War in, I think it was
Texas and California. Yeah, Texas and California used to be Mexican.
Yeah, that's what I was watching earlier today when I was taking some free time for myself. That one and the Spanish War in Cuba, how they took Guantanamo Bay. I forget what they call it now.
A bay, right?
Yeah, but that's where they have that top secret prison too. Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah. All right, buddy. You did really well. Next week, we're definitely not going to start the advanced studies this coming week. I got to get all these tests done. I had 3 classes that just did their tests this week. So I'll be busy with that. And then I still have to put together a little bit more material for the reading and the vocab and the IELTS topics that we'll use in the advanced studies. But it'll all be C1, C2 practice. We will introduce the vocab first because that was a problem with all the high level reading. We had to spend half the time looking up the words to figure out what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So it will have to be based on a similar format where we will introduce the vocab, not 20 words, but whatever is in that reading. So it'll be a lot of reading, but high level reading. Very highly educational on other amazing topics around the world.
Yeah.
All right. Good job, Coco. I hope we'll see you in a couple of weeks. But Lay, once I figure out exactly the template here, Lay will send all the information to your parents and all that. And then you guys can hopefully sign up and join us again. It'll still be Tuesday night, 7:50.
Yeah. It's summertime.
Yes.
We'll join. Yeah.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I think. But we'll get in touch with you within a week.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. You did really good.
Yeah. My life haven't been complicated yet.
Not yet. Don't worry. There'll be plenty of complications to come.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, buddy.
Good night. Yeah.